Hi, everybody. This is Stay at Home Grandma. I'm a little early, but I just figure, hey, I got everything done pretty much. Okay. I'm going to roll everything down so you can see it. I'm going to pull myself up. I'm going to push this down. You know what I look like if you don't take picture so you can see everything I'm doing. I'm going to start with my cup first. I was watching a YouTuber some years ago, actually, that did, and I did this and I have to do it all over again, but because I didn't put any Modge Podge on it. But now I'm going to show you the papers, and then I'm going to show you some material beads and some other stuff. So, and then what we don't finish tonight, we'll finish next week, or maybe if I come on this weekend, I don't know. It depends upon what the kids are going to do. Anyway, started with the cup. I have to put some Modge Podge on it, and then I'm going to use my Magnolia Design Company, the paint. And this is really, really good. I joined Magnolia Design Company about a month ago. I have not been really good with it because you know my life. So, and I have my potato chips. I have some Evian water, ginger and lime, I think it is. So I'm doing better. That medication had me all loopy. But the difference between that medication and the medication that the Percodens and the Percocets, let me see something. The Percodens and the Percocets was I didn't see anything. That was good. Hey, House of Entertainment. Hey, Buddha Destiny. How are you all? Come in. I'm going to make some beads and I'm going to make a cup. Now, this particular cup I painted and I didn't put any Modge Podge on or anything like that. My bad. Okay. But I saw this cup being made some years ago. And I thought, I could have cups like that and everything like that. So we're going to do this. I'm going to use the Modge Podge that I already opened, and hopefully, that's open. No, that's not open either. So wait a minute. Let me see if this one's the one that's open. This one's not open either. I don't know where the other one is. And there's a third one around here running around somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. Because this is the smaller one. How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, all is well with me. I just had an experience with coding that I should not have had. But I don't take medication. The only medication that I take is my blood pressure medication, and that's really it. I don't take any other medication. Everything else I take is herbs and vitamins. So, it's not like, I want medication because I don't. I had to take it because I had surgery on my hand. So let me be careful with this too. But it is what it is, and I got through it. But like I said, at least with the Percodens and the Percocets, this didn't show me any pink elephants or anything like that, like the Percodens or the Percocets did. But that was some years ago. And I had them dying at the hospital when I told them that. Okay, I understand the pain, honey. I understand the pain. All right, so this is open. And we are going to put this in something. I don't know yet. Let me see. One of these, if I can get it. So how's everybody doing? I am doing fine. Much better than yesterday. Anybody that's on Facebook, okay, just click the face, the video, and you should be able to get into StreamYard. I don't know why. I thought it did itself, but it didn't. I'm just gonna put it in here, okay? We'll worry about that later. I'll wash them all out. So I'm putting my Modge Podge in. Now, actually, what I can do is paint with this. Yeah, yesterday, yesterday and Tuesday, when it started happening to me, I'm saying, well, what the heck? Because I was getting like headaches and, you know, all kinds of things, and my stomach was upset, and it was just awful. So, House of Entertainment, how was your cruise? I kind of know how it was, but tell everybody else how your cruise went. We want to know. Did you meet any famous entertainers? Did you do any entertaining yourself? What happened? I found my potato. So I keep watering this because I have to keep my brushes clean. And one of the things that I do is whenever I use Modge Podge, I clean the brush. So we're going to put this Modge Podge on, and then we're just going to let it dry because, like I said, I put this other, I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And so without any Modge Podge and without a better paint, but so it's going to kind of come off, but we'll deal with that when the Modge Podge dries. So I have a vision for what I want for this glass, but this couple, we'll see. So that by the time we finish the beads, I should be able to put at least one coat on. I did my granddaughter's school box, pencil boxes with different pens and things like that. I didn't do the pencils. I will do them. That's going to be another thing for them because they're going to need new pencils all the time. So tell us about your trip, honeys. I know you had fun. Did you entertain it all? Because I followed it. I followed it on my television, so I couldn't make any comments, but you look like you had fun and you enjoyed yourself, and you should. I've gone on weekend ones. I really don't like, and it's not because I'm afraid of water. I'm not. It looks lovely. Well, it probably will look lovely. Like I said, I saw a couple of people do one of these years ago, and then I got really busy because I was still working then, and so I could only do so much. And then I just decided I'm going to do some and I like it because I can carry my coffee in it and my tea. And then the girl said, well, if you're going to do one for you got to do one for me. And I'm like, I'm going to do one for everybody, probably for Christmas. So we're going to put this Modge Podge on, like I said, because then that way the paint will actually stay. And then we're going to do a lot of things to it. So some glitter, without epoxy. I have epoxy. I use epoxy for other things, but I'm not going to put epoxy on cups. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're going to take her, and we're going to move her over there. Notice I said her. No offense to anybody, but it's a her cup. Well, it's going to be anybody's cup, because I'm finding that guys really like pretty things and lovely things. And I think that that's good. Okay, so the material that I got for the beads is I have two leather pieces right here, a black one and a brown one. They're leather. They're complete leather. And I get these swatches from different material companies. They send them to me. So if you want them, you can get them. Just don't tell them that you're going to do any artwork with them. They don't ask, but, and then I have these. So we're going to use these. But we're going to use some paper at first. Okay? So I got scissors. I got the paper already cut out. But I'll show you how to cut out one with and I got this paper that I got from the dollar store, and it was there's books of it. I have books of it. I have all kinds of paper. I have glitter paper, all kinds of things, because like I said, lots of people want me to review, and I just got it, and so I put it in my collection because I knew that I was going to start doing art again. I did, however, buy these, and these are the bead makers. All right, but I started out with just doing it on my own hand with actually this, a skewer. So, you know, I'm going to just do the beads. I'm gonna try one with one of these. Let me see which one I want to use. I think I want to use this one. I'm gonna try it with the bead maker and see how that happens. So what is everybody doing for this weekend? Because it's September, came real fast. So before you know it, we'll be singing Christmas carols or Thanksgiving carols or whatever it is that we sing. So let's see. I'm going to start with, and be careful with these things because these do, you know, because they have pointy edges. Be careful with anything that's pointing. I think I'm going to use this one. Try and get it out. So I'll tell you a little bit about the paper. I made a thing for my one of my son's friends. So I had a lot of paper that I had to use. So I just cut out all this paper. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I cut out all this paper, and this paper is like notes, has notes on it. And then this paper has this colored paper that I cut from what I showed you, what I got from the dollar store. I have other paper that I will eventually use. This will dry nicely now. Okay. All right. So this is how we do this. Maybe I can't use that one because these seem to be, let's see. Okay. So I'm going to roll this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this. This is not rolling right. And that's probably because these are smaller. This is smaller than what's, it will though. Okay, so this is rolling. And now what I do is, okay, I take a little bit of the Modge Podge. And I put some on the bead, at the start of the bead. Just a little bit. Because you don't want it to get on the, you know, on the bar, because then it'll stay on the thing. And we don't need that. And then I just roll it, and I keep rolling it and rolling it and rolling it. I push it down. Some of it got just a little bit too loose. So I don't like these rollers. Okay. I'm going to pull this out of there. Okay. Now, I'm going to also show you how to do it with straws. Now, when you say paper beads, you say, oh, paper beads. Yeah, you know, when you were in grade school. But these are varnished, and then they have a shine so that they come back looking like hard beads, if anybody's ever seen them. Yeah, I think I'll use this. And you're just going to roll it, and then hold it down, which I didn't do, but I will. This does not want to stick because, okay. Okay, I got it. And we just want to hold it down just a little bit for a little while, just for a few. Hey, Ray of Sunshine, how are you? So that's one. Now I'm going to put it on a skewer later, and now again, you don't have to get these, and I really don't particularly like these for some reason, but I may have to make my own beads, bead rollers, because I don't like this, but you work with what you got. Okay, so this is one bead, and it's got the glue on it, so and everything. So we're gonna stand this up right here. Well, we're gonna try to stand it up. Yeah, now it's standing up. Okay, so how you doing? So now, the thing about this is that, like I said, I don't really like these, but I guess I have to try to work with them because I've worked with other things other than the bead. All right, so I'm gonna use this stick right here. That's what I usually work with. Okay, so I'm going to work it out like this. And at first, sometimes, no, I did this, I did this right. No, I did this wrong. No, that's right. And push it up so that it won't, And then in the center of the bead, right about there, put a little bit of Modge Podge or glue. Now you can use Elmer's glue. I've got a bottle of it, but like I said, my room isn't completely put together yet. It's almost there. And then, of course, like I said, I don't want them to fix the ceiling or anything until after Christmas. Well, this is the note paper. So we're going to glue this. We're going to make about 4 paper beads, and then we're going to make some material beads. And I'm going to actually cut them to show you how to cut them. A little bit more glue. Okay, so we've got the glue on there. We're going to hold it down for a little while on the stick. Okay, and then When it doesn't pop up anymore, we just take it off. Now, understand that some of these are going to be a little bit too big and some of them are not, but we're going to put things in them so that, they'll last. Okay, so that's going to be there. Okay, now we are going to take, okay, let's do this one. Now this is faux leather, but it's glittery. All right, now once you start making these, okay, there's a couple of females, and there might be some males too, but I don't know. But there's some females on in the Etsy shop, and these will go on my Etsy shop later on. But there are a couple of females in my Etsy shop that sell beads only, and they're all handmade paper beads or cloth beads. My cloth beads are on my lamp that I made, and like I said, if anybody wants to see it, I will actually get a picture and put it up there. I just have to figure out how to do it on StreamYard. Now this is glitter. Now what's good about this is that once you harden it and you put your placers in it, some will have placers, some won't. But the placers are the things that go on both ends so that they can be strung as beads. I'm not making any jewelry. I don't make jewelry anymore. I haven't made jewelry in years. I used to make jewelry years ago. When we used to have street fairs and stuff like that, and I would sell my jewelry in my pocketbooks. I've gotten away from that. So, and I don't think that I want to do that anymore. That is tedious. That's work. So we're going to hold this. We're going to pull this out like this. And we're just going to hold this. Until it kind of sticks. And see how it has a hole in it? Oh, okay. So let's see how it has a hole in it. And then you just let it dry. Now that one wants to come out just a little bit, so I'm gonna put a little bit more glue in there. Now, there were other glues, but like I said, I wasn't gonna go look for all the glues today. I have about 14 different glues. Some that have been sent to me, some I've bought. I really don't know. I have to really look. But yeah, so that's that. So I'm going to do another, and I think I'll do this one. I think I'll do this one and make a big bead. See, this is the leather, faux leather. All right, so we are going to, like I said, I really don't like those bead makers. So I might send them back and get another pair or something like that. They're not what I thought that they would be. They're just too little for me anyway, for my hands. And while you're doing that, push your bead up. You'll see some of the material coming down off of it. Just push it up. When you see these and what I'm going to do with them, like I'm making a Lenny Kravitz scarf. It's on if you Google it, you'll find out what the scarf looks like. And I'm actually making 3 things at one time, but not all at once, but you know what I'm saying. But I'm thinking about putting some beads on the scarf just to make the scarf look pretty and different. You know, I'm different. I march to a different drummer. I do. I admit it. Also, this bead wants to come off, so let's do this again. It has the glue on it. Might be using the wrong. Okay. So let's hold this down for a few, and then let's put this one on. So we're going to put some glue right here. If I did what at the same time? You got to fill me in on what you're saying because I don't know sometimes. So I'm going to wrap this around gently. I think that this is going to come out looking like a junk bead. But then once I put the finisher on it to make it hard, it'll really look nice. Yeah, I didn't have anything to do as a child, and my mother did everything. I think at that particular time when I was growing up, you have to understand my age too. We didn't have to make everything because we had stores and things like that. So for me, it was fun. And there was another girl in my neighborhood. Her name was Cookie. She was a designer. Her brother was a designer, actually. And he designed a lot of clothes. And she made a lot of her clothes and things. I didn't make a lot of my clothes, but I made my little capes and things like that. I made mostly blankets and things for gifts and took things apart. And my mother used to always tell me when she left to go to work, please don't take any of my stuff apart. But I would take broken things and try to fix them and try to do something with them. My mother had a plastic shower curtain that she didn't like. And at that particular time, there were cloth shower curtains, but you had to use like a liner for them. You still have to use some liners for some of them even now. But she took it down and she said, I don't want this anymore. And she looked at me and she said, so what will you do with this? And I said, I don't know. I made a rain cape out of it. I actually made a rain with a hood. I sewed it on the sewing machine and I made a raincoat out of it. It was a cape actually, and everybody's like, where'd you get that from? And I said, my sewing machine. And they were like, I want one. And I'm like, well, I can't really get you one because I don't know where my mother got it from. But this is kind of wild. Okay. But yeah, you look up the Lenny Kravitz ones and you'll see it's a really long scarf. It actually looks like a blanket to me, but it's a scarf. And actually, my fairy treasure, I'm surprised she's not on tonight. She she must be doing something. She we're doing a knitting thing together, so we're making it. So do I want this one? or this one? Or do I leave it? No, it's not going to stay. Well, it will stay eventually, but it's completely staying for some reason. So I'll put a little bit more glue on it. So that ought to work. So that one is finished. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shellac this. After. I'm not going to put shellac on it. What I'm going to do is, see, this is coming apart, so I need to just bring it to just a little bit tighter. Okay, so that one's there, that one's there. All right, now let's move this paper over and let's try some material. Now, like I said, I'll show you what I did. I think I showed some people my lamp, but I don't think everybody saw it, and I need a potato chip. It is 79 degrees. It is so nice. Let's take this one right here. And I'm going to use material glue. And this is E6000. Turn this upside down for a minute. Stay there. Can you stay there? No, it's not going to stand up on, so I'm going to lay it down sideways. All right. And this is what I got from the dollar store. Hey, Yarny Cat, how are you? It's getting better. I mean, I have to use it. I just have to make sure I don't get any glue inside the. I actually looked at it, and the scar is from here to here. I didn't realize how deep it was. So I tried to open something, and it like hit me that I can't do that. Let's try this and see what happens. Now, okay. So here's the ruler. I have other rulers, okay? I'll try to cut as straight as I can. Well, it cut it. Well, that kind of, but we'll, okay. Yoni Cat, how's Yoda? This actually frays, so we're going to have to be very careful with that. Okay, that's good. And for everybody, Yoda is her cat, and he was not doing good at all. And, you know, so. And her cat looks like Yoda, too. I don't like the ruler, but I'm just going to make some cloth beads and see what happens. All right, so I'm going to try to use this one again and see what happens. That should fit the cloth pretty good. Thing. Okay, I'm going to hold this and let this. See, I don't like this one. Or maybe it's just because they make it look like it's easy and it's not. Put a little glue on. Oh, I want the other glue. This is material glue, so it should. And this is E6000, so hopefully, let me lay this down for a minute. Let me make sure that, now that this isn't off. This is why I haven't used this one. Then we're going to go back to the cup. Once I do a couple of material glues, we'll let them. Yeah, there we go. Got that off pretty good. Okay, so this is the material glue, and where is my little thing that I use to wipe off my hands? I'm gonna have to get another one. I keep a basket of old towels here. Okay, so as such, it's on, but let me just get it tight. Okay, so I'm going to lose a little bit of this glue. Now, see, this material glue should hold material. And see, some beaders, they don't glue it to the end. I glue mine like all the way down because it's just better that way for me. I think it gives it a lot more hold. A couple of beaders actually do it because it gives it a better hold and it doesn't completely come apart. But once, like I said, you shellac it or you Modge Podge it or whatever to make it hard, it won't come apart and we won't know that it's material or paper. Or we will, but they won't. Okay. Then I'm gonna cut this little piece off right there. That's hanging. I think I'll cut all that off later. And that's the material one. Can you see that? And you just leave it down here to dry. If you can get it off your fingers. Now it's got a couple of little frayed edges because when I cut it, this material frays. So, but that's okay. You know what I mean? It does what it does. All right. I'm going to do one of the leather ones and see what happens with that. Okay. I was going to say, where did I put this? And I'm going to do a big, thick one. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to have to roll this one away. Okay, and let's see. This is sticking to it because the backing that I took off of it was really, really just full of plastic and sticky. Okay. Let's see how this does. So we got to go a small piece of this. That's not for one. I can lose stuff right in front of me. I don't know how I do it, but I do. I have to do it on a regular stick. Like putting glasses on my head and then looking for them all over the place. Yes, I do that. I do that. Talking on the phone while looking for my phone. I've done that. Has anybody else done that? Has anybody else done that? Because I've done it. Now I'm doing this on a regular screw because I really don't like those sticks. And I may send them back. Okay, so here's the leather one that's coming apart. But it'll stick. It's like I said, we have to hold it down and then completely glue it off and hold it down for a few minutes. And I have to make sure that none of this gets on my hand, well, in my hand. So here's the leather one. So I'm going to make a ton of these probably tonight after I get off. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going back to the cup. Okay, so again, for those of you that just came in or came in after when I first started the cup, I started painting this cup and I didn't put any Modge Podge on it, and I really did not use the paint that I should use. So now there's Modge Podge on it. I'm using Magnolia Design. It's from Magnolia Design Company. I actually joined the company a couple of months ago. No, about a month ago. And I'm liking it. So we'll see if we can use this. If I can get it open. Yeah, there you go. And this is it's coral chalk paint. Okay. So we're using this. Now, this is just a plain cup. But I've seen them do some nice things with these cups. And I want to do some nice things with this cup also. So I know that I'm going to have to put 2 coats of paint on. I know that. But what I'm going to do to it, so you can just take your plain cup and do so many wonderful things with it. And people will be saying, where'd you get that cup from? And you say, I made it. Well, this paint is adhering much better. It will need another coat of paint. I should have just probably took all that paint off with some alcohol or something like that, but I'm not doing that because I'm going to put another coat of paint on. Probably not tonight, but This paint goes on nicely. So yeah, I am feeling better. I thank God for that. But at least, like I said, it wasn't like when I had the Percodans or the Percocets or whatever it is I had. I don't remember whether it was Percodans, Percocets, whatever. It was a Perca. And I had my ear operated on years ago. Man, I was seeing pink elephants. Blue things were going through the hospital room. I don't know what they were. Trumpets were playing, and animals were playing the trumpets. There was a squirrel trying to get into my bed. Yes, a squirrel, a giant squirrel. And we made a joke about it later, but it wasn't funny when I was going through it. Because you go through it and you're like, you know what's happening, but you don't know why it's happening. And like I said, I don't take a lot of medicine. So, and at that particular time, that was years ago, my kids were, I think my daughter was a teenager and my son was a preteen, maybe. My daughters were both teenagers, but my son was still a preteen. I think he was like 12 years old. So, this is adhering on pretty good. It will need another coat for sure. So I'm trying to get the schedule together. So I want to know what it is that you want to learn that I think I know. And notice I said that I think I know. I know that a couple of people asked me to do to teach candle making again. And candle making is good because you can give those as Christmas presents. What I think I want to do, and that's up to all of you, is yeah, they do. But I think that they know this, but a lot of people don't have reactions to them. But then a lot of people, I can see, I can't see in my head how somebody can get addicted to any of that. Because I would not want elephants and stuff running through my house, you know, I am running through my head. But a lot of people get addicted from what my doctor tells me because he said, you can't, they only give you so many, which was good. And I didn't take all of them because he told me to go immediately stop. But I yeah, this completely covered it. So we'll let that dry and I'll go back to that tomorrow. Maybe. I have nothing to do tomorrow. Okay, so that's that. So now we've done that. So let's talk a little bit. Because it is, it's only 8:12. But you all know, if you don't know, now you know, that I turn into a pumpkin at about 9 o'clock. I'm going to lift this up. You want a hanging clock? I can't. I don't know. I have stuff. I got some stuff one time years ago sent to me. And when I say years ago, it's like 2 or 3 years ago that they sent to me. Yeah, I think the candle making is good. The wind chimes that I did, and I think you saw them, Ray. They were from my resin thing, and whatever. But I don't know whether we can do that or not. But are you all gonna finish your crochet? Are you coming on live? Because if you are, I want to be there. Okay, the wind chimes in my room. Yeah. Okay, those were made from resin. So that might be good. It might be bad, but oh, you haven't gone on live yet? But I have an idea that might work because everybody has plastic medicine bottles around. And my daughter was asking me the other day, do I melt plastic anyone? I said, no, not really. But she said, well, you should, because I made wind chimes out of those. But this is when they were little. And I was like trying to keep them busy and stuff like that. But we may be able to melt them down. And I could show you how to melt them down. And then yeah, that was all resin. But what I'm saying is I have cookie cutters and everything like that. So maybe what I can do is melt some of the caps and some of the bottles down, because God knows I got plenty of medicine bottle and vitamin bottles, so I can melt them down, and then we can try to cut them and see if we can actually make wind chimes from them without bothering with the resin. Because I mean, I can tell you where to get the resin and stuff like that. I'll have all that up. But if you want to make the resin, but it is a piece of work. Well, not really, because you pour two of them together. I don't understand that one. And then you mix it and mix it and mix it until it's clear. And then pour it into a mold. And in fact, here's the mold here for the wind chimes. But I'm thinking, rather than to have you always buying things and stuff like that. Okay, all right. And well, rather than having you always buy something like that, so you remember that most of the time I review these, so I have to use them for that. But you know what I mean? For you to have to buy them and stuff like that might not make any sense when you might be able to make it. So I have some plastic bottles. Let me fool with my plastic bottles and see what can happen with that, because you might be able to make the wind chimes out of that, which would be pretty. Yeah, and put them together, and then cut them out. I have a gazillion cookie cutters. Okay, all right, and nobody. Well, my younger great grandchild, but the other grandchildren are quite grown now. My oldest great granddaughter is 13, and my oldest granddaughter is 32, 19, and 16. Okay, and my great granddaughters are 13 and 9. And the 9-year-old, she's got a little table behind me, and she makes things when she's here. But we'll see. But I'll play with it probably this weekend, and then I'll come up give you ideas with it, because that might be the fun thing to do. And then I know you got pill bottles around. Everybody has pill bottles of some sort, vitamins, pill bottles, whatever. Okay, so this is drying, and it looks rough right now, but mind you, it's going to look pretty. I just have to decide, okay, after I paint it, how I want to do it. Yeah. And years ago, I used to do, well, I'm from Massachusetts, so I did a television segment on Good Morning America, Good Day America. And that was years ago. It was on Channel 5. They might still have it in the archive somewhere, and I used to come on, and I used to, just do different things that you could do with your kids. And I used to melt the plastic. What, this right here? It might be good. I don't know. We'll see. Um, because like I said, I saw them doing the cups and I was saying to myself, I want a cup like that. Okay. And I don't see any cups like that out in any of the stores unless it's maybe a really fancy store, and I don't go in those stores because I'm scared I might spend some money. But yeah, but I saw her do like 4 or 5 different cups and I thought I saved her YouTube channel, but I didn't. And I've tried to find it. And it's not there. The ones that are in resin and other things are done, but they're still not as pretty as hers was. Okay. And you know how when you feel something and you want something, you're like, okay, I want something, and I want something like that. So that's what I got to do. I got to try to go maybe tonight and try to find it. And then I don't want to replicate it or duplicate it. I just want to look at it and see, but I can do it, you know. But you can also do it without resin. You can do it with triple thick, which is like a Modge Podge. Triple thick, you can do it with Modge Podge. You can actually make your own Modge Podge. And that's something I want to do is teach you how to make like your chalk paints, your Modge Podge and things like that. And the other things so that you don't have to go out to the store. And Modge Podge is actually like Elmer's glue, which is a good glue, okay, and water. And a little bit of, I forgot what else. I'll tell you later because I have to look it up, and then I want to teach you how to make gel plates. Now, gel plates are really good if you want to do like abstract painting and things like that. And then you want to dye your own papers and things like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you can make your own Modge Podge. You can make your own ink, ink paints. You don't have to go to the store and always buy. Well, now, if I had gone to Hobby Lobby and bought it for 99 cents, I would say, okay, fine. But you can make your alcohol ink paints with alcohol and what do you call them? The felt tip pens. Okay. And usually what happens is, okay, a lot of the felt tip pens, they start to dry out, but the ink is still in there. So you just put it in the alcohol ink, leave it overnight and everything, and then just use it. And the alcohol ink, if you keep the top on tight, okay, will last for about 2 or 3 months. A lot of people never thought about that before, but again, remember that it came from somewhere, okay? And alcohol ink was not a thing when I was a kid. Now remember, okay, again, I'm 74 years old. So back when I was a kid, we had like maybe, I want to say about maybe 20 crayons. We had maybe 10 paints. So people started experimenting with things, and I was one of the ones that experimented with some stuff. Now, a lot of the stuff I've learned from watching YouTube because that's what I do. I watch YouTube. Cooking and things like that, I already know how to do, but I watch YouTube for that. So when I cook and I come on, like I did the pasta pizza, and I got a recipe for you all. Okay, it's called chili pizza. And I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to make it with you all. It looks good because I love chili, and it's that time of year for chili and pumpkin spice. I'm also going to teach you how to make spices because we had to make spices. My mother was a nurse, but in her spare time, she loved to cook and she loved to bake and she loved to sew and she loved to knit. And she taught me how to knit and sew. And then I did other things on my own, but from school and whatever. But did you make chili tonight? I need to come over to your house. I love me some chili. You can make me some chili all day long and I will eat it all day long. I love chili. I love shepherd's pie. I love chicken pot pie. I have a special way that I make it, and it's really, really quick. And I like like anything that's made in the crock pot, pretty much. Okay. I know that I didn't have a crock pot growing up, so she made it in the pot, but I like it in the crock pot. I used to make my stuff, and leave it and go to work and come home and smell it in the air, and it was just wonderful. But like I said, the job that I had, I was a teacher, and then I became a school counselor. So I was home before 3:30 usually, unless well, I did do one late night there. But I liked my job, but I don't practice counseling anymore. I saw my last patient, I think, because I had private practice too. I saw my last patient, I think, I want to say about 6 years ago, you know, and I really just started getting into my art and stuff again and things and having time for me doing things that I like. Of course, I had some missteps too along the way, but those things happen. They really do. And you learn to recover from it and you move on. So, anyway, if everybody knows what they want me to do for them to help them along the way, I'm actually going to be teaching some classes. That does not include you. You don't have to pay for this. You're my family. But I am going to teach some classes online. But I mean, if you want to come to them, I'm not really. That is a job. That is a job. That is really a job. My hat is off to you. We actually mainstreamed a lot of kids who had emotional problems with, well, not most learning disabilities, things like that. Mainstream some of the kids into the public school with the rest of the kids. For some kids, it worked out well. For other kids, they just didn't understand what why that kid was that way. And I would always have to explain to them that he was born that way and that's the way it is. But, you know, and the spices, taco spices, allspice seasonings, all that kind of stuff. Pumpkin seasoning, okay? Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I loved my job too, but I was supposed to retire 2 years after. I was supposed to retire. I was on the brink of retiring in 2 years. However, I had a stroke. I went back for a year, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I was at that particular time going back to work thinking I'm the person I was before. And I had to face it. I was not the person that I was before. Okay. And I would get like dizzy spells and things like that. And where I worked with little people, I did not feel as though it was right for me to be there and to follow something like that and for them to experience that. Yeah. I didn't think that it would be right for me to have, for kids to have experience like that. Most of the kids that I saw, okay, had enough experiences at home without experiencing their counselor getting hurt or something like that. And a lot of kids will blame themselves too. You know, I had my stroke on my way to the job. Long story. Make it real brief. So I get up, I go in the bathroom like usual. I take my shower. I get out of the bathroom, dry off and everything like that. And as I'm drying off, I'm noticing my right arm is getting weaker and weaker. And I'm saying, well, I had pneumonia. And I'm saying, well, maybe the pneumonia is still me and maybe I need to stay home. And I'm like, no, I'm not staying home. You know what I mean? So I got dressed and I went to go brush my hair. And the brush, I couldn't hold the brush. It just kept falling out of my hand like this, just falling. And I'm like, what is wrong? So I said, well, let me go lay down. I guess I'm not going to go to work today. It was a Friday and I usually had Monday off. So I called the office and I'm talking to the secretary and the secretary is saying, I don't understand you. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't understand me? And she couldn't understand me. Well, no, I had mine like 10 years ago. But yeah, it does something to you. But anyway, I just hung up the phone because she couldn't understand me. And I'm like, still not knowing what's going on. I just laid down and I fell asleep. Well, I left all of my stuff, my briefcase and everything by the stairs to go downstairs. Well, my husband came home and he usually doesn't come home in the afternoon, in the morning, but he came home because he forgot something. And he noticed on my stuff and he said, that can't be right. And he looks at me and he looks at my side of my face and he says, because I said something to him, and he's like, I don't understand you, and you need to go to the doctors now. So he took me to the doctors, and that's where I had the stroke. You got to pay attention to yourself. You've got to pay attention to yourself. Every woman does that. We so much worry about our family and our husbands and our kids and our brothers and our sisters and our aunts and our uncles and our mother and our father, and we don't worry about us. And that's bad. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I had the stroke, because I was so into, I'm still into my grandchildren, into my daughter, into my husband, into the house, into everything, and no time for me. But I'm going to go too. All right. And I hope everybody has a beautiful night. I love you. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Hold your family close and hold yourself even closer. Bye-bye. See you in the next video. Yeah, you got to go to the hospital. You do. You have to go to the hospital. You can. Love you all. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.